Hey, so Bubba, anytime you come back to a racetrack where you've had success, 10 years ago you went the truck race here, and that we've talked to people that won on this racetrack. You know, you go to Talladega, that's a lot about the speed, the aero, things like that. This is a driver's racetrack, and you gotta give yourself just a little bit of a pat on the back for winning at a place like this in any of NASCAR's top series.
Yeah, I agree with that. Showing up here for the first time 10 years ago. It's crazy to think that's 10 years ago. How old were you then?
You're a grown man now.
No doubt. Tell me about it. But showing up here, being competitive, that was a really fun night. And it's crazy to think that it was 10 years ago, and now here we are back on the cup side of things, trying to figure it out. It's a lot harder when you get to the cup level.
Oh, the wall's way taller. Wait, ask me. I never won a cup.
And we're not even talking about the concrete wall over there.
No.
So it's good to show back up here. I think it's the perfect market for the Cup Series. We're making the most of it. It's beautiful weather, not too hot today, so appreciate all you guys coming out and hanging out with us.
Yeah, hey. So, my questions come from a different place because I'm a racer. And I watched you win the dirt race at Eldora in the truck.
Yeah.
I watched you win in late models at Bristol.
Yeah.
You're loaded with talent. Where did that talent come from? When did you realize, hey, I want to be a race car driver, and I'm gonna try as hard as I can? What age?
I'm 30 and I still haven't realized that yet. I just had the opportunity.
Where were you born? Where were you born?
93.
Where?
Oh, where? In Mobile, Alabama. LA.
So we got great racetracks down there.
I've never even raced down there. Once, in the South.
Yeah, we would go down to the snow. We'd leave St. Louis. We'd go down to Jacksonville with Brother Rusty. We'd go on down to Snowball Derby. So, was there a moment in your life that you watched it on TV? What made you say, I get asked that question all the time.
No, we grew up, I moved from Alabama to Concord when I was 2, right? And we grew up 15 minutes from the racetrack. Heard the races going on all the time, had no desires. I think we went over there one time when I was a kid and had dinner or something in the Speedway Club. And then my dad got to drive on the track. So we were in an old, I don't even know what year it was, old Chevy Lumina. And I was in the passenger
Because
side,
Earnhardt had
hanging
one.
on. Exactly.
So your dad bought one because Earnhardt had one.
For sure. So I was hanging on to the door handle, like falling over the banking. And then you fast forward running, you run the Bandoleros and Legend cars and stuff, like on pole night. Remember when pole night was a thing?
Oh, yeah.
We run there.
150,000 people.
Yeah. And so fast forward to 2011, we had just qualified on the pole at Dover in the K&N car, sitting there on the grid waiting to roll off.
Hold on. You said that like you glossed right over. You were on the pole at Dover.
Yeah.
One of the hardest racetracks there is.
Okay, if we want to get into that, 2010, Andy Santerre, you know Andy
Oh yeah,
Santerre.
he was my teammate,
yeah.
Lance Max.
Yeah, he 2010 we get there and he said, "Hey pal, to make this car work at Dover, drive over the hump." And I'm like,
Turn 1.
"Okay, sure." I did it one time and never did it the rest of the fucking weekend. It was scary shit. I ran like 20th.
All of us.
Yeah.
All of us.
So I go back the next year for redemption, hold a wide open pole, and won the weekend.
Quick time.
Yeah, exactly. So that was the moment where I'm like, man, this is pretty fun. I didn't have anything lined up for next year. And I was like, I guess I can keep doing this. And here we are. So
And
13
the rest, as they
years.
say, is history 30 years
Yeah.
later and a multi-time winner
Yeah.
at the cup level. You know, we're just talking to Eric Jones. He's got some coolness going on there with Jimmy Johnson and the King
Yep.
as his bosses.
Yeah.
You have major coolness going on in terms of bosses and Denny Hamlin and Michael Jordan. You're around just great. You're around greatness all the time. You guys got that beautiful new racetrack. What can you pull off of those guys? Denny's a winner, and Michael Jordan goes without saying what
Right.
he's done.
Right.
What can you pull off that as a competitor?
Yeah, no, it's intense for sure. I think the cool thing about it is, you know, I look at Jimmy and the King, they're racers, they get it, right? You look at the other big names, I believe like Pitbull's super involved, right? He understands it a little bit more from the entertainment side, but MJ has been a fan since he was a kid, you know? Big time, going to races, going to Darlington and Rockingham and Richmond and stuff like that, and he understands. He knew that, okay, yes, I may have all the money in the world, but that's not what it takes to win right away. It's gonna take time, it's gonna take a process, so for him to understand the ins and outs and truly get it is really cool for us.
I have a unique question because who went and saw the movie Air with Michael Jordan? Okay, I know you love your mom.
Yeah.
And, you know, Michael Jordan's mom made the deal for him. She said, no, anything with his swoosh on it, we're going to get money.
That's right.
And the movie ended with like he's making $44 million a year.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's left pocket nowadays for him.
So knowing that, and we all know that it's knowledge. When you hear something like that, then he comes up and talks to you.
Yeah.
Can you focus on talking to him, or when you're looking at him, are you thinking other things? Like, is it hard to focus on him?
So for me, it takes a lot. I get more excited talking to you than I do to him.
That's because I'm always bragging on people.
Yeah. But I honestly, like, I think the first time I met MJ was obviously 2021 Daytona, and I was like, oh, holy cow, this is pretty cool. Every time other than that, I'll bring Blaney up, and he gets to have that kind of same experience and whatnot. MJ loves Blaney, by the way. So
Why is that?
I don't know. I don't know North Carolina. Yeah, I don't know. So. Yeah, I think it's just really cool to be able to have a conversation. And we talk about racing, we talk about anything. He's a big watch guy. I'm into watches. I can't afford the watches he has. But
they'll buy those watches down to Bahamas.
yeah, they'll go down there.
My brother
yeah.
Rusty got these big ass watches, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, they got the hookup. So it's fun to talk about that. But really cool. He's tuned in every week. He texted me after qualifying yesterday. He said, good run. You gonna start building some Legos now? For my interview on TV. He's tuned in. He's locked in all the time.
All those winners are always smart asses.
They are.
But they just don't understand why you don't win.
Exactly. Yeah. Denny's even worse than him.
Well, that brings to the next thing I wanted to talk to you about. I said a moment ago that there's three levels of competitors in any sport. There's competitors, then there's winners, and there's champions. And the step in between those, I think, is absolutely huge. When you became a Cup Series winner, how much, if anything, did that change for you as a driver? How big of that step was it to join that elite group that is Cup Series winners?
I mean, when I look at it, that was my 4th year in the Cup, getting right there towards the end.
Kansas City.
Nope, Talladega.
Okay.
And then we went basically almost another year before the next one at Kansas. Well, hell, now I'm winless. So it's damn hard to win at this level, right? Everything's got to be in line to make that happen. And so I took it upon my shoulders, and the team as well, and just to start this year off different. You know, I look at this time a year ago, we were right around 100 points out, I believe. Now we're sitting 13 points right now, 20 points to the good. Total different spot. That doesn't say that I'm a winner, but it's just the mentality. Things are going to eventually fall in place for us, because that's all it takes. You got to be there. You got to keep putting your name in the hat. Booty would like to say that. Keep putting your name in the hat. It's going to be pulled at one point.
Qualifying was really exciting yesterday. I like that knockout qualifying. I watched it from Arnold, Missouri. I live about 17 miles from here. And you were happy. I looked at your body language. You were having a good time. You jumped your ass right in that race car and qualified 8th. Yeah, I think
I
that's...
blame Jamie Little. She shows me a stat. She's like, oh, you qualified 7th both times here. And I was like, sweet, thanks, Jamie. I'm a qualified 8th.
She's an athlete, isn't she?
I thought you were going to say
We just celebrated.
What did you say?
I thought you were going to say asshole. I was like,
Oh, no.
I didn't take it that way.
I was not an asshole.
Athlete, yeah.
So tell me, okay, you're 8th now. It's funny because you qualify in the top 10, and some smart ass that come by and go, okay, go to the front. I don't want to go. I'm up
Denny's
front.
going to say that.
I'm up what?
Denny's going to say that.
He's like,
I love Danny.
I like this. So Denny's an asshole.
Yes.
A little
I
bit.
didn't say that.
Yeah. Yeah, but those are okay. So you're 8th. You're 8th. Turn 1's real volatile here. Talk to me about the start. What you thinking or you're not thinking?
Yeah, it's funny.
I'm
You
certain
look
Danny's
at
gonna hear it. We'll find out what he said.
you're in the Cup level. I remember going back to Dover. My
These
first,
guys over here
I think
have
first
23
Xfinity. No, not my
over
first
here.
Xfinity race, but I was full time, so let's call it 2016. And I qualified. Let's call it 11th or 12th, and Denny's right in front of me. Right? He gets the worst initial start of his life, and so what do? I poke bottom, 3 wide, pass him, and in the next corner runs me over. And so I'm like, what the hell was that? So I talked to Blaney after, and he's like, oh, buddy, you don't pass Cup guys 3 wide on lap 1. That is just a written rule. Bullshit! Get a better start.
Yeah. Ayrton Senna, who watched the Ayrton Senna movie? Ayrton Senna says, if you don't take that gap, then you're not a race car driver.
Yeah. I got runneth over. Runneth over. So then it's funny. You go to North Wilkesboro. We all know what happened a couple weeks ago, right? Guess who got taken 3 wide? Kyle Busch. Another one of those good guys. He was pissed. He was pissed. Why are you going 3 wide on lap 1? Get a better start.
Yeah. Hey, it's like, oh, I'm not gonna pass him. And then can you imagine if there were signs on your race car that read what you thought?
McDonald's been out in my car.
Yeah. So what you're saying, and I agree with you. So there's a sign on your car, and all the fans are watching. And Stenhouse goes in one, and Stenhouse says, "I'm not going to pass him just because I'm going to take it easy." All the fans go, "Boo!" He had to go.
Right. There's a hole there. So it's
Danny don't like that.
Yeah. So getting back to here.
Yeah.
Getting back to here.
We're having a good time.
I just got to make sure I get a good restart. So hey, Kyle, they're behind me.
Hey, tell me about those paddles. Or no, you're down here.
Yeah, we're down here.
So which way do you go? Let the fans know
All the way back.
you're back. So you're
Mom.
back. And then down
Just
shift
that
is
sound,
ding,
too.
ding,
Yeah,
ding,
sounds
ding.
just like that.
Yes.
Ding, ding.
Yeah.
Did you have a tough time when this deal? Somebody, I think Danny blew a motor up at some racetrack because
He went forward. That was, I forget where that was. But
we
no.
were used to the 4H pattern.
Yeah, but I did legend car stuff. Legend car is 1 down, 4 up.
So you
It's like a
knew.
motorcycle. I'm good. I'm good with it.
So there's a lot of muscle memory when it comes to driving a car. It takes, like, you know what was interesting was years ago, if you guys wonder how difficult it is to drive a race car, the great Jeff Gordon said he was in a little bit of a slump because they switched from a metal seat to a carbon fiber seat.
Yeah.
It's that delicate
Yeah.
in the racetrack.
Yeah, I remember that. That was like truck and Xfinity days for me. And I think at one point I did have a different seat for short tracks versus intermediates. You had an aluminum seat for the short tracks, and intermediates you had the carbon fiber.
So we got 1 minute, and I'm starting to juke right now. So I got to rough you up just
Go for
like
it.
we did Eric Jones.
Here we go.
You know, they're going nuts in the media center all over America, all over the world, basically.
Oh, Larson?
He knew.
My favorite? My favorite Larson?
Whenever I mess up, Schrader jacks with me all the time. So I always tease myself. Herman, get the shit out of your mouth. So, Kyle Larson, does he deserve a waiver or not?
Yes. 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 Yes.
Please, can I answer, please? Can I answer?
Sure, go ahead.
We've given waivers out for everything, right?
Right.
But the thing that I do see, which I don't know the thought process of who's making the decision, right? But he made a choice. He made the choice to run the Indy 500. Knew that weather was bad, knew all that stuff, made a great attempt to get there, but he made a choice. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
He made the choice.
I got it. Okay, sure. All right.
All right, guys, well, we've got to give Bubba Wallace a huge St. Louis send-off. Wish you the best of luck. So go, guys, brother.
You good.